Hey Alex, this is Mrs. Skoglund. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your summer assignment. So we're going to mostly talk about this chapter 2 question since that was the one you starred, but I'll kind of reference some other things throughout the video as well. So to start off, the first thing I looked for was one sentence, which is your topic sentence at the beginning of each paragraph, that ideally should answer the question concisely and kind of preview what's going to come in the paragraph. So I thought, Alex, like you definitely had these topic sentences, but what I noticed a lot of times is when the question had multiple parts, like this one, and I think you had this going on, yeah, up here in question 1 as well, you sort of did separate paragraphs. I would almost like to see those combined into one where you answer all of the question in one sentence to start. Okay, just because that's going to make the question and the work a little more cohesive. Next, I looked down at your last sentence or your concluding sentence, which again should sort of let the reader know that the paragraph is ending by going back to that question. Again, I think you a lot of times had concluding sentences, but sometimes, like this one especially, was pretty brief. So I would encourage you to go back and maybe try to think about like getting that significance or importance into the concluding sentence. So like, why are these 3 A's impacting the need? Or why is our directed thinking going to be so important? Okay. Next, I looked down at evidence. And I think you did a pretty good job of selecting evidence. Like I liked this one especially about abundance. Down here, I do think maybe this quote wasn't the best example of automation, so just really think about what's going to be the absolute best selection. One thing we'll definitely want to work on, Alex, is your embedding of evidence or like the way that you integrate quotes. So most times I saw you just kind of having the quote as a sentence on its own. And since this is your writing, what we actually want to do is somehow integrate or embed that quote, even if it's just something as simple as like Pink explains, comma, during much of the 20th century. But that way you're starting off that sentence and it's your writing, right? All right, on commentary, I thought you had some really good moments of commentary, Alex. So like when you talked about the abundance section up here, I really liked how you gave an example in this commentary, like what makes people want to buy a certain car. It's, the design. It's the R directed, not necessarily always the L. So I thought that was really good. But then down here in some other paragraphs, there were moments where I think your commentary felt a little disconnected from the quote. So like, I understand why you used the chess example for automation, but like, I think it could have been made more clear that, like online or like a computer playing chess, workers and automation is now being surpassed and people are having to do these more creative things that computers just can't do. So I think maybe expanding that and making those connections a little clearer would be good. All right, lastly, I looked at conventions and citations. So citations, sorry, let me scroll up here a little bit. We want to do is go ahead and put this period actually after the quote. And then there were a few times I noticed your citations were missing, so just be really careful there to be consistent, okay? Conventions, like I just noticed a few proofreading things, so like workers shouldn't be capitalized. Personal pronouns like you, that's just like a little bit too informal, so we want to watch out there, okay? All right, our directed activities looked good, and I just wanted to comment on I liked the different paragraphs you wrote about an industrial age worker and a conceptual age worker. I thought that this really showed me that you understood the difference between those, so good job.